Welcome back. If you watched part 1, you took an honest look at whether opening a recovery residence is the right move for you right now. If you decided yes, or even probably yes, this video tells you exactly what to do next. If you're starting here without watching part 1, that's fine, but I'd encourage you to go back. Part 1 covers the consumer protection warnings and the cost honesty that this video assumes you've already heard. Here's how this video is structured. First, I'm going to walk you through the readiness checklist, the conditions you need to have in place before you formally apply. If you can check every box, we will guide you through certification. If you can't check every box, you're not ready yet, and we'll tell you exactly how to get ready, so you can come back when the time is right. Then, for those who are ready, I'll walk you through the 10 formal steps of the certification process, from inquiry to certificate. Let's start with the readiness check. This checklist exists to protect your time and your money. If you submit an inquiry before your residence is operationally ready, the application stalls, you've paid the application fee, you've started the clock, but the phases can't move forward until your foundation is in place. The goal here is to make sure you only formally apply when you're set up to succeed. So before you submit an inquiry, you need to be able to check every one of the following items. If you can't, please don't apply yet, and I'll tell you what to do instead. 1. You have a residence in operation right now with residents currently living there. Residences must be operational in order to be certified. If you're still in the planning stage, no property, no residence, finish standing up the residence first, then come back. 2. You operate as one of 3 legal structures: a nonprofit, a for-profit business, or a faith-based ministry. What we don't certify is informal operations with no legal entity behind them. 3. You have written policies and procedures, not in your head, not "we'll get to it." Written down, accessible to staff, reviewed regularly. 4. You have a resident handbook, the document every resident receives at intake, covering rules, rights, fees, grievance procedures, and the basics of life in your home. 5. You have a drug screening policy, written, applied consistently, with a defined process for contested results. 6. You have a defined staff and house manager structure. Someone is responsible for the home day to day. Someone is responsible for the organization. Both roles are filled. 7. You carry liability insurance, commercial general liability appropriate to the level of recovery housing you're operating. 8. You have zoning and occupancy approval from your city or county for the property. This is the one that catches people most often. If you haven't confirmed that a recovery residence is permitted in your zoning district, you don't yet have what is required. 9. Your home serves people in recovery from substance use disorder. Certification is for recovery housing specifically, not generic transitional housing, not unrelated populations. 10. You are willing to follow NAR 3.0 standard and to make the required changes. This national standard is the guideline we use to grant certification in the state of Arkansas. 11. You have the leadership capacity to complete the paperwork, sit through the training, and make the corrections asked of you during certification. This is real time and real attention. And one more. If your home is co-ed, you must have a clear separation of living spaces for men and women. Separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms, separation that holds up under reasonable scrutiny. We do not certify co-ed sleeping arrangements. Okay, did you check every box? If you did, jump ahead with me. I'll walk you through the 10-step path in a minute. If you couldn't check every box, here's what to do. Don't submit an application yet. We can help you get ready before you apply. We have free policy templates. We have free resident handbook templates. If you have specific questions about what you're missing or how to close a gap, email us at info@narrarkansas.org. Be specific about what you have and what you don't. We'll direct you to the right resource. And when you have all the items checked, come back, rewatch this video, then move forward. For those who can check every box, here's the path. 10 steps from your first inquiry to a certified recovery residence with a 2-year certification. Most operators finish the process in 60 to 120 days, depending on how organized you are when you start. Step 1. Review NARR 3.0 standard. NARR organizes the standard around 4 domains: administrative and operational, physical environment, recovery support, and good neighbor. If most of the requirements feel achievable for your residence as it operates today, you're ready to move forward. If most feel like a stretch, that tells you where to focus before you formally apply. Step 2. Submit your initial inquiry. Go to our website and click the Get Certified button. You'll fill out a short form: name, organization, contact information, a few basic questions about your residence. This is not the application. It's the first conversation. Expect a response from us within 5 business days. Step 3. Pre-screening interview with Executive Director Jim Baugh. Jim will schedule a 30 to 60-minute video or phone call with you. The goal is to learn about your residence, answer your questions, and confirm, together, that you're ready to begin certification. This conversation is free and confidential. Be honest. If you have current issues, staff turnover, a recent incident, an unresolved neighbor complaint, bring them up here. They're easier to address now than during the application process. Step 4. Pay the application fee. If you choose to move forward, a non-refundable application fee is required to formally start. The amount is $150. Paying the fee is what starts the clock. Step 5. Complete the certification training. Once your application fee is received, you'll be enrolled in a 7-module video training course. The training covers the 4 domains, the 4 levels of recovery housing, our code of ethics, our compliance agreement, the certification process, and the Resident Support Funds program. You'll go through these modules at your own pace, on your own schedule, and you can re-watch any module as often as you need. Step 6. Verification of documents. We will verify your organizational foundation. You'll submit, at minimum, your articles of incorporation or equivalent legal entity documentation, your certificate of insurance, that's the ACORD form showing commercial general liability for every residence you operate, and a signed letter from the property owner if you rent, or a signed letter attesting your own ownership if you own. The organizational credentialing fee, $300, is due at the start of this phase. Most organizations spend 1 to 3 weeks here. Step 7. Staff policies and procedures review. We will review your full set of staff-facing policies against the national standard, covering organizational structure, staff conduct, drug response and screening, resident records, social media, good neighbor practices, and peer leadership. The complete checklist of required policies is in the compliance manual. If you don't have all the required policies yet, we can provide templates for your organization. Most organizations customize the full set in 2 to 4 weeks. Step 8. Resident Handbook Review. We review the full set of documents every resident receives at intake: the resident agreement, house rules, grievance and right statements, financial and refund policies, and the operational policies covering medication, drug testing, search, smoking, and emergency procedures. The complete list is in the compliance manual. Our review focuses on clarity, fair process, and resident protections. Step 9. On-site assessment. We will conduct an in-person visit at each residence. The assessor walks through the property, observes the physical environment, and speaks with residents and staff. On-site assessments are not scheduled until steps 6, 7, and 8 are complete, and the residence is operational with active residents. We have to see how the home actually functions. Step 10. Certification granted. Once all phases are complete and any findings resolved, you sign the compliance agreement and code of ethics, and certification is issued. The per-resident certification fee is $200 per house, paid at this step. Your organization is listed on the directory found on our website. Certification lasts 2 years, after which you recertify. So that's the path. 10 steps, 60 to 120 days for most operators, 3 fees total: $150 for the application, $300 for organizational credentialing, $200 per house, all non-refundable. Module 7 goes into more detail on what reviewers look for during the on-site assessment, on the Resident Support Funds program, and on what to do after certification. A few practical resources before we close. If you need help with the nonprofit side of things, articles of incorporation, drafting bylaws, the IRS 501c3 application, there are free options. Legal Aid of Arkansas at 1-800-9-LAW-AID may be able to assist. The UA Little Rock Bowen School of Law runs pro bono clinics that may also help. Use those before you pay an attorney. And the short form 501c3 application costs $275 and can usually be filed in a weekend. The long form is $600 and takes longer. A last word. We exist to bring national recovery housing standards to Arkansas and to give every operator the tools, templates, and ongoing guidance to meet them. The certification path is real. The guidance is free. The standard is the same one used across the country. You now know what readiness looks like, what the real path looks like, and where to find the help you need. If you checked every box on the readiness checklist and you're ready to begin, go to our website at narrarkansas.org. Click Get Certified and submit the inquiry. If you have questions before then, email us at info@narrkansas.org. If you're not ready yet, you can still email us with any questions you may have. Welcome to the work. We're glad you're here.